What it do, YouTube? It's been a while, man. So look, we just gonna take it back real quick. For one, let me get my shout outs out the way. This is how I do it. These are the people that inspire me to do this, or this is just different channels that I enjoy to watch because they got great content. So we're gonna shoot it off with Kev Mack, because that's definitely the number one general who got me interested in doing this. Then from there, we're just gonna throw it out there at all the different people. Well, Stephen A. Smith, First Take, definitely him. That's what got me up at 7 a.m. and consistently for the last 7 or 8 years, about 10 years now. But anyway, and then from there, Bosco 100, Nina Boy used to be on him real tough. CBO, Joe T, and Big Joe T, Charlie Global, Renegade Media. I don't know, I can't think of bro's channel, but dang, that's not cool because I want to give him his shout outs. But it's the other, I don't know, SA and NA was a different word. I just thought SA was just the word, because that's all I knew when growing up in California. Once you get to knowing their politics, is a little different. But anyway, he's from up north, Gunner's Collection. So yeah, I've been checking him out, but not as frequent as the other folks. That's why I didn't remember his name. And then what's his name? Damian Porter, L.A. Ron. What's his name? It's another Crip cat that's real cool. Dude from Inglewood, Legends. He got some good stuff. And of course, 89 on up. I'm tripping. That's the homie, the one cat out of everybody I used to give shout outs to and be checking out their channel. He's the only one that's looked at my channel and commented on my channel, and it blew me away because I just started reading this because I wasn't getting no play, no motion at the time because I was new to this. So anyway, y'all, there's more folks that I like and enjoy, but I gotta start writing this stuff down. Trying to go off memory, that ain't working. After having a massive stroke like I did, my memory ain't as smooth as it used to be. At least right now, picture. Old stuff, I'm kind of good with that, but current stuff, I'd be fuzzy. But anyway, we're gonna get past all that. So here's the deal, we ain't finna be in here tripping. We ain't finna be doing none of that. I'd rather, instead of fussing and bussing, let's just sit down and have a discussion. So that's what this is on this channel right here. We're gonna discuss some things because we're not doing the maniac things that used to get us parked and locked up like back in the days. So like, comment, subscribe, do all of that. I'm back on. I'm one of those type of dudes that I like to do everything big. So y'all don't know this, but I had this white microphone. I got the white ear piece with, gosh. Anyway, I had everything set up and it was looking smooth, and I thought I was about to do it. Got the laptop. I'm thinking, okay, I'm ready to get on here and make some move. Where the little thing at? Because I forgot to send this back to these folks. Oh, it's right here. The thing that you put over the microphone. I was supposed to send this back with the dang microphone and the laptop. But man, I had everything set up, and I thought I was really about to be in here doing it big. And it was non-compatible, didn't work. So it was frustrating because I'm like sitting there thinking, man, I'm about to really put it on, and I wasn't ready. So I messed that one up. Nevertheless, you don't have to do all that to do this. You just need to sit your butt down in front of a computer or a telephone and just get to talking until your stories, and people are gonna gravitate to it. Good, bad, and indifferent, they gonna gravitate to it. So, with Jay Hood, that's the Crip cat I was talking about, and the Who's, he just got on deck. But they got some fire stuff, man. I be checking them out. I don't try to get caught up in the controversies. Oh, and definitely Young Ant from A-Trey. I've been wanting to ask him a question about my big relative from their neighborhood, C-Rat the Third. He's older than me, and I was like, how's he the third? I'm thinking this, but I learned this back in the 90s. I'm like, how can this cat be the third? I would think he'd be super up there. But I didn't know LA politics and how deep this stuff goes, back into the 60s and 70s. So anyway, more shout outs to come because I want to give everybody their props, folks that encouraged me through my battle, my transformation of getting back on my feet, because I watch a lot of y'all sometimes just for entertainment, but majority of the time it's for me to do my exercises, because trying to get back, not trying, getting back to where I'm going to be, making sure that I can walk appropriately and correctly, because folks be seeing me moving, not knowing that I be struggling because I'm moving fast, but I'm not walking correctly. So anyway, my bad. I'm getting off subject. And I don't want to do that to y'all, because there be some of y'all that I watch, oh, I'm tripping. Cartoon one, definitely somebody else I check out. But there be a lot of folks out here watching, and man, sometimes y'all go off the story real quick and be losing folks, and some folks stop wanting to listen to you. So I don't want to do that to you, because it bothers me when folks do it to me. So let me get to this topic of this story. I'm about to talk about the old school in Seattle. I'm just going to start from where I remember and how it started for me and my crew. And one of the reasons why my crew is not like a big known, well, they're still known because we put in so much work, just keeping it real. But why there's not a whole bunch of us anymore running around representing that. But I'm going to start from the beginning, how it started for me. And I'm just going to, like I said, I'm explaining it for me, how it was for me. So I'm going to go back to the CDF and the South End crew. That's kind of like the beginning of when our crew branched off and started. Me personally, the main thing that got me wanting to be separate from the CDF, because I am from the CD, is because when they killed Breeze, I thought that was so punkish, so suckish, that it just irritated me. And I'm the youngest, at the time, the youngest of our litter. I'm talking about my bro and my big partners over me. I'm the youngest, small, skinny, little frail dude, but I had them scraps. I was real feisty, but nevertheless, I was still like the youngest and little cat. But I just had a mindset back then that you're not going to change my approach. If I don't like something, I think it's suckers, I'm not going to deal with it. So that move right there, not going to get too deep in that situation. I'm not trying to rehash anything because I wasn't there. I just know that even though I'm from the Central, that situation for that man losing his life, it to this day, we're talking something that happened maybe 35 to 40 years ago. I'm 51 and I was like 13, I think. So almost 37 years ago. It still bothers me when I think about it, because the way how he went out, it'd be different. You get into some not gangbang, just some gangsters shooting him up, because there were no gangs in Seattle back then. It was just crews. So it really bothered me how that went down. Like I said, I ain't gonna get into that. My bad. I mean, really, this is how it still frustrates me when I think about it. So our crew had just a couple of us. I mean, literally, me, my brother, and my homeboy, Seem, S-E-E-N. That was his tag name, Seem. I ain't gonna call out his government. We lived across the street from each other. We had seen him and his brother get into it with their mom's dude, and oh man, they put hands on him. It sparked us on how we needed to handle business when our mom got in a situation. But so that's how we got to know him. And then we used to go to a school that was connected to the juvenile. And this is called, the name of the school is called the Learning Center. It's out of pocket, but that was the name of this joint. Matter of fact, the Learning Center 2. Like you had a 1? I mean, that name by itself is bad, and you're going to have a part 2 to this foolishness? So they did us out of pocket for that name. But anyway, there was a lot of different heavy hitters that went to that school, because that was the school that was connected to the juvenile, and people from the outside streets can go to this juvenile. I'll never forget, female beatbox, rest in peace. She had came to school thick as ever and had on the blues from the juvenile, but when it was time for us to rock out and go our way, she had to go back to the unit. I'll never forget that. It was just a trip. But she was one of many that came through the school like that. So that's how we got to really get to know Scene, because we were all going to school together. And then we started hanging out together. So what happened is we were just trying to come up with different crews, and, you know, because he was from the South End originally D-Dub. But he had moved to the Central. We're on 15th and Spruce. Hence the, yeah, literally, that's my neighborhood. Spruce. Yeah, so he moved into the Central, and that's how we got to know him. So anyway, get back to the story. So we're on our back porch. I'll never forget. We're on the back porch, and we're trying to come up with different names of different crews. And Scene came up with SHA. So Hard Artist. So for a lot of folks that be really thinking that MOA and certain people, I ain't gonna call them out, they started our crew and this, that, and the third. Nah, partner, we already had a crew. And the reason why that crew wasn't rocking for so long, because I'm out here tagging like everybody else tagging, and I go hit up on a garbage can. I'm about to do me a filthy D chill SHA, and I look at the joint and it says Seattle Housing Authority. And I'm like, oh man, we around here representing this crew, and they're about to bag on us big time if we get to thinking that that's the name of a filthy crew out here. We was gonna get clowned for that one. So I got my nerve. I'd be so upset with some of y'all that be trying to drink during the time that you talk. I'm like, man, couldn't you get drunk before you start talking? And here I understand now. You get thirsty real quick. But I'm sitting there like, nah, we can't do that. So I went back and I hollered at them and told them, well, unbeknownst to me, Scene and I don't know if I should throw this person's name out there, even though we know in the city, but some of the stuff, I'm not going to say none of that because I don't want to feel disrespecting nobody. I'm going to keep it clean. Let's just stick to a nice beginning story. So, Scene and another homeboy from the South, they had been writing, like I just said, trying to come up with different names for different crews, and they had came up with a crew that they thought would be filthy. Well, the homie that's from the South, he came up with the name. I'll never forget, Scene told me he came up with the name, but he told me on a recording, and then I took it. Yeah. So for y'all to be getting all pumped up, yeah, this is what my partner told me he did. He may have, the other homeboy came up with the name, but he took that joint and he started writing with it, and that's how we became MOA, Masters of Art. So there's history behind that. So don't get yourself caught up in no debate with me or anybody else, because it's going to embarrass you. Because we didn't just take a crew from some other crew from out south and they pumped us up and got, nah, my homeboy got that rocking, and we already had a crew before that in the first place. So if I'm going to tell the story, I'm going to just tell it right. I never forget when I was talking with Soda, Joe Palmer. I was like, man, I want to really tell old school stories. I was telling him, a lot of cats from the old school, like, I really want to tell our story. I was like, but I don't want to bring up Breeze, and I never get, and this is his brother telling me, he said, D, if you're going to tell the story, you're going to have to tell the whole story. So that reminds me when I'm telling my stories, I can't leave out certain parts because I don't want to offend folks. Well, just won't put your name in it. But we're going to have to tell the story the way the story is meant to be told, because I don't like telling no, put 100 on 10, all that old corny stuff. When I was a child, I thought as a child. Now becoming a man, I don't lie and do all that scandalous stuff like a little kid no more. So that's just me personally. I don't feel like I got to lie to nobody to get my point across. So we started rocking with this crew, and we're big time in the U District with a bunch of different homies from the South End. DKA, Down Known Artists. HAH, Hard as Hell. Yeah, so these were just different crews. And then INCMG, Illegal, Non-Stoppable, Criminal-Minded Gangsters. That may have been one of the filthiest crews created but it just didn't go far because I won't say a lot, but certain cats that was from that crew became a part of MOA. Same thing with HAH and DKA. Some of them now are, I'm not going to say the name, but they're in the South End. And these cats know I'm telling the truth. Some of them were claiming MOA because y'all could not claim that big crew that you know I'm talking about. Because Breeze, Dice, Easy Ed, and all the other hitters, Soda, they're not letting you in it. Them cats was punking and taking the, they was the, listen here, I'll just keep it real clean. I didn't even kick it with them cats. My brother went and kicked it with them because he was ruthless like that. I'm just going to keep it a buck. I wouldn't say that back then because I was too proudful. But I was not going on the bus hanging out with him and them hooligans. Them cats was, look, yeah, there was about them way more than me. I'll just keep it clean. Them was some retarded youngsters that just didn't care, beat up on any and everybody. They were just ruthless, and my brother loved it. He was all for the shenanigans, not I. Like I said again, I was a smaller cat. Oh, I was scrapping a heartbeat, and school been kicked out of plenty of schools for scrapping and scrap on the streets. But to go hang with them D-dubs, that's a different caliber of dudes, and I wasn't up there with them. They was ruthless. I wasn't that ruthless. I just keep it real clean. But look, man, I'm gonna have to stop it right here. That's gonna be part one. There's more to this because there's history on our side. There's definitely a bunch of history on the D-dubs in the South. I mean, the CD, which is J2C. That's one of the crews, but I want to tell more of the stories, and I want to give a little bit more info on it, but I want to make sure that I'm not being disrespectful to no one, and just, you know, tell them the story like it needs to be told. But yeah, this is your guy, D Chill, from out there 206. So y'all have a good one. But like I said, man, we ain't here to be cussing. We ain't here to get into no scraps and get the busting. All we trying to do is sit down and have a positive discussion. I'm out.